There's a very interesting story which I would like to tell you, and this story will give you a very good idea as to why people make mistakes in the equity markets. There was this boy, his name was Machli. He was called Machli because he was a good swimmer. He became a good swimmer because he had a river flowing next to his house, and the river was always full of water. So he could practice as much as he wanted to, up to his heart's content. He could just keep practicing. And practicing made him a ace swimmer. Now, because he became a good swimmer, he also became less circumspect, less careful. While other villagers would wear protective covering when they would venture into the river, because this river had a lot of stones and debris flowing along, and they used to wear protective clothing because of that. Our friend Machli would always go without any protection because he was overconfident about his swimming. Now this went on for many years. Unfortunately, one day when the river was in spate and it had a lot of flowing debris along with it, Machli got trapped and some debris hit him on his head and he passed away, he died. Now, why did this happen? This happened because he was overconfident. It happened because the river was always flowing. He had always enough time to practice and become a master at this art. Hence became overconfident. If this river was, let's say, flowing only 2 months in a year or 3 months in a year, then he would have never got this he would have never been so overconfident. He would have been a little more careful and circumspect. But because of a free-flowing river, he became very casual about the whole thing. Now, let's come back to investing. In the world of investing, what happens? We have one asset class called real estate. We have another asset class called stocks, shares, mutual funds. Now, the market of the mutual fund is the stock market. And this is a very liquid market. Like the river, always there is activity happening, transaction happening. Any mutual fund you want to sell at any time, you can sell. Any of the good stocks, the more popular stocks you want to sell, you always have a buyer. This is a very liquid market, continuous transaction happens. And this always tempts us. It always tempts us to buy for a short time and sell the moment you have some minor gain. Again buy and again sell for a minor gain. We never buy and hold because of the facility that the market provides, the liquidity, which is actually supposed to help the customer, but here it works against the customer. From an investor, he becomes a gambler or a speculator because that facility is there. Now, look at the real estate side. I buy a house. I can't sell it because I don't have a buyer. I have to wait for some time. I buy a house. I can't sell it because where will I go and stay? By default, it becomes a long-term investment. Because I hold for a long term this particular house, I get super gains, very good returns, which does not happen in stocks because the opportunity to sell is always there. So something which is very liquid, which should actually help the customer, works against the customers. And something which is illiquid, which is actually not good, works actually good for the customer. So therefore, whenever you buy shares, stocks, mutual fund, even if you have an opportunity to sell because of the liquidity, don't take advantage of that. That only makes you a speculator or a gambler and not an investor.